So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you
Not sure. Not worry. What game are you on? Rory is on Australia.
All right, we are 4 rocks in. Kaitlyn Laws out of Manitoba versus Kayla Skrlik out of Alberta, former Scotties champions out of Alberta. Both teams playing quite a bit this year. I've seen Team Laws at almost every tournament that have worked. Whether Kaitlyn is there or not is slightly different each time. My name is Rory McCusker. I'm an operator, live streamer for Curling Stadium. I guess we're kind of celebrating a 3 full year anniversary. This is our 4th Western Showdown that we've streamed on YouTube. So that makes it a little bit special for us here at Curling Stadium. End number 2 looking pretty good. Team Laws, they've got their center line set up, rocking. It's always good when you're adding and removing just the third element of that. So right now they got one in the forefoot, a low guard, and just keep adding this high guard. Team Skrlik keeps waiting for the double peel to be available, which it is now. I think there's an angle you can make all 3 of these rocks go. Gonna get 2. 2 guards go. Leaves a yellow down the center line. Definite improvement, though. Looks like we had a blank in the first end. And a little cat and mouse. Guard and replace. Guard and replace. Or guard and peel, I should say. Peel and replace. Peel and replace. That's a better way of saying it. A little easier to be the ones peeling, I would say. Waiting for a guard to be misplaced, maybe put a little outside of its path or grouped close together. Just waiting for that chance to double peel. If these guards are continually made, though, we will see Team Skrlik attempt to attack the forefoot. So that's a pretty good scenario. Those guards are really high in the zone. A lot of separation between them. Kayla knows this is going to take a lot of work to clean up. Might be worth coming into the forefoot right now. Maybe a straight run back on the yellow. You can see her signal that with her broom just now. And that's what we'll go with. Looks pretty close. Gets the top one, sends it back, and they will rip out that red rock from the forefoot. It's a big shot. An end like this, with hammer, you need something like that. You need a double peel or a run back or something to turn things around for your team, and Team Skrlik just got their shot. No big deal for Team Laws. They can replace that quite easily. So Selena Negevin, an out-turn draw to the top of the forefoot. More than enough guards to create a force. Now with only 3 rocks to come for the opposing team. Really well placed. Very key to be above the tee line on that shot. Don't want to leave a pocket for Team Skrlik to make a multi-score end. So now with that overlap on the guards, Team Skrlik's only got 2 options. They can try to double peel or make a play into the rings. It looks like she's signaling backline wait. Should be Desiree Haas throwing third stones. Or sorry, Danielle Schmiemann. Straight sweep right away. And it will chip the top guard. That's no good. Leaves multiple obstacles in the path. And at this point in the end, Team Laws has accomplished their goal of clogging up the middle and keeping a shot stone in the center of the rings. Once again, my name is Rory McCusker. And if you were listening to this and think that you could do a better job commentating, one, you're probably right. And two, we are looking for commentators. It's an open application. If you think this would interest you, if you think you have something to give to the sport of curling, you could help others understand the game, shoot us a message at Curling Stadium. If you have Jerry Gertz on Facebook, go ahead and throw him a Facebook message. There is a little bit of money involved. We'll pay you for your time. Give it a shot. Why not? See if it's fun. We'd love to hear from you. All right, Kaitlyn's first rock. Looks like they're going for a straight guard. Satisfied with stealing one. You know, you could get tempted. I mean, if it's me, I'm probably lobbing another one in there. Maybe a little nose tap. Get another rock in the rings. Promote my stone in the forefoot right to the button. Create a little Christmas tree action. But, of course, doing that, there's more risk. Could leave a double. Could throw it too heavy and give Team Skrlik something to freeze to. But Team Skrlik is going to completely ignore that guard. They're going to draw their own rock all the way around. That's what I would have been afraid of. Still lots of room in that forefoot to score two for Team Skrlik. Really, at this point, just scoring one would be a bit of a victory. So, Kayla's first. Bit wider than any stone has been so far. Sweepers will have to be aware of that. Really nice ice and swift current. Carries the stone with sweeping very well. This is curling a lot. I think it just came up a little bit light. Sweepers couldn't quite save that one. And now is it the time to lie to if your team laws. That guard they threw is blocking both teams' in-turn draw. Right where Kaitlyn's tapping her broom is probably perfect. You just don't want to come deep and leave Team Skrlik a chance to draw into something, have some backing. So if anything, you want to miss light here. Make Kayla's draw even tougher. But she'll leave it with the sweepers. They'll know this is better light than heavy. And the perfect spot is just kind of half of the forefoot, half buried. Should leave a pretty tough shot to score for Team Skrlik. Good time to mention, we absolutely love it when you chime in on the chat, letting us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, and of course, when we have some interesting angles in the house, we love to hear what your call would be. This is what makes streaming curling so special, is the fans get to be involved. Take advantage of that. Go ahead and subscribe to Curling Zone YouTube and leave a comment in the chat. Sweepers work pretty hard. They just barely don't get it there. But like we discussed, that's the right miss. That's a fine place to put it. That's Kayla's easiest shot at 1. So Team Laws will block that off. Oh, yeah, Kayla, throw that. Let us see that. An angle run back through a port to stick for 2. That would be pretty incredible. We've been covering the Skrlik team for a few years now, and she is fearless, that is for sure. Zero game, facing 1. Really interesting angles that she'll be taking on. Gets in the hack and throws it before I can even switch cameras. Rock is on the way. Trying to keep it straight. Gets through the port. Nails it for 2. Didn't even need to think about it in the hack. Just skates down, gets set, chucks her stone, and a huge angle run back through the port. Wow. 2 points for Team Skrlik.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you
Welcome back. Your commentator is still reeling from that incredible angle run back through the port. 4-2. Took a few seconds to line it up, but that is all she needed. Kayla Skrlik, no stranger to pressure. Not afraid of making the big one. That's what she just did. So here we are, third end. Team Laws with their first crack at the hammer. First draw comes a little short for Team Laws. Now Skrlik gets one on the button, slips a little deep. Good little reset. Found something under the stone. Kristen Gordon. Getting to be quite a veteran. She's played at a competitive level for many years now. Started off quite young and now in athletically prime, in her prime, and with lots of experience. So good thing she made her shot right after I talked her up. That's always embarrassing when you compliment a player and then they miss. So thanks, Kristen. Okay, all 4 stones on the center line. 5 rock rule. Team Skrlik's going to have one more chance to make that 5 rocks on the center line before I'm pretty sure we will see some rearranging from Team Laws. Waiting for this to move. Seems to be hanging. Might be a little heavy. Carve sweep. Attempting to address that. And they get it there. Real patient by the sweepers. And no choice now. Gotta send some stuff back. 3 made shots by Team Skrlik. We'll have a look from both ways at Jocelyn Peterman's run back. Oh, just barely misses the pile in the forefoot. Not a terrible result. Advances each rock kind of 1 stage forward. This early in the end, that in itself is a good thing. Pretty easy tactical decisions for Team Skrlik so far. Just keep piling them in there until something moves. I wonder if they want this right on the nose of their yellow one that's already in there, or whether they want to just kind of overlap in the top 8, top 12. I've always wondered this myself. You know, the more prime positioning is obviously right on the nose, right on that center line in the top forefoot. But it makes it easier to kind of explode that grouping once the run back is eventually made. So there could be something beneficial to staying in the top 8 or 12. That answers that, though. They swept that to go right in there. Doesn't quite get the curl. There's a bit of an angle there. I think all 3 of those yellows go if you make a run back into that pile. Have to throw it pretty hard. Which Jocelyn can do. Run back attempt number 2. Just gets the 1. There's a chance that was the call. I'm not able to hear Kaitlyn. Didn't really see the broom signal there. There's a chance they just wanted to remove the 1 guard. Although, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 yellows, about to be 5. Things are getting pretty hectic in there. Still lots of end to play, but getting to the point where this kind of great wall of yellows is going to be too tough to remove at a certain point. Saving grace is red is shot 1 for now. Really nice placement. Nice and high. Not easy to run back at all. Kaitlyn's going to Peel the one. She's going to have to make some kind of noise here, though. Here comes Selena, a good strategical mind in her own right, very experienced player as well. Selena and Connor, one of curling's power couples. Selena, what do I do with this mess? Well, Kaitlyn, I think you got to get rid of at least 2 here. Okay, that's it. That's the end of that. That felt wrong even when I started. Just trying to have some fun over here. It's a long week to go, folks. Us operators, we're going to be watching a lot of curling over the next 5 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday await us at the Great Western RBC Dominion Financial Showdown. Feels like a good time to check on our chat. Line Lapierre watching from Eastern Shore in Nova Scotia. She's a huge Laws fan, but can always appreciate a good shot. Love to hear it. Thanks for chiming in, Miss Lapierre, sorry. Run back attempt number 3. All right, could have just been a single peel. Again, not exactly sure. But with only 3 rocks to come per team, Laws is running out of time. Team Skrlik seems pretty content at just protecting this setup. Now, Team Laws would really be in trouble if Skrlik had a shot to lie 2 or 3, but the way those overlaps are, there's no sense in rearranging that if you're Team Skrlik. Just keep lobbing them up front. And that's what they'll do. Well, here's Kaitlyn looking at the exact same thing she's looked at the last 5 or 6 stones. Not much has changed. They've been taking the top guard off without making any noise in the rings. And at this point, in my opinion, I'm not even sure it's that great to rearrange anything unless you're going to get rid of both guards. Running just one of these back isn't that awesome, in my opinion. So they'll try to get rid of both guards here. If you have any shot at rearranging that forefoot and making an easier shot on your last one, you got to get rid of these 2 guards right now. Looks pretty good. There goes 1, 2. Gets the run back. Finally makes some noise in the forefoot. That is such a massive shot. And just at the right time. Selena Negevin. Big sigh of relief. There's a well-deserved high five. Big smile from the skipper. Now, to be clear, your chances of getting 2 in this end are still, you're going to have to work pretty hard for them, but at least now there isn't so much of a mess up front that you're going to have no shot on Kaitlyn's last. Now you force Team Skrlik to address the risk in the rings. Gonna have to remove this red rock. And can I just say, I love how quick Kayla Skrlik throws. Has her discussion, skates down, a few words with the sweepers, gets in the hack, chucks the rock. I'm not saying it's the right way, but it's just refreshing to see. A lot of skips taking their sweet old time in that hack. And as a fan, I love it when we just get on with it. Lisa Shepard tuning in. Good afternoon, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Megan Edwards, hello. I'm sure you've got 4 screens going, Megan. As would I. So much good curling to watch. And at a really good time of year, too. This is kind of our last big event with all the big team names before Christmas. Western Showdown and Swift Current has become such a premier event, all thanks to the hard work. Chris Heichert, club manager of the Swift Current Curling Club, finds all sorts of sponsorship and support, and Jason doing ice. The whole crew, all of the volunteers that help at the Swift Current Curling Club. Hats off to you guys. You guys have created a premier facility in Canada and a really, really top tier event. Hit and roll. Makes the hit, makes the flop. On. Will it spin back? That cheeky little spin. Gotta love it. For shot rock indeed. The way these rocks move now, you almost have to expect that curl back. That used to be considered kind of unlucky or fluky. That's just the way these stones work now. They're gripping the ice, or the friction on the bottom of the stones is such that as they spin on the roll, it's almost always going to kind of tail backwards towards its vector of motion. So you almost got to play for that. There she is in the hack, waist up, and leg drive. That's it. 3-second delivery from Kayla Skrlik. Nothing crazy here. Very happy with the force. She's gonna rip that red rock, and it jams. I can't believe it after all that. I think it's a hit and stick for 2. This game sometimes, so crazy. 5 minutes ago, if you would have told me Kaitlyn Laws has an open hit and stick for 2, I would have believed you, but still, pretty crazy odds. Go from all those rocks down the center line to this kind of wide open, spread out house. Oh, but that's curling. Last rock in the third end of our pretty speedy game. Pace has been real nice. Only been on the ice for about 50 minutes, 5-0. So to complete 3 ends in that time, really good pace. Open hit and stick for 2. I'm going to widen right out. Yes, I am controlling these cameras. I am the god of this stream. We can see the whole Swift Current Curling Club. 5 games out on the ice right now, all women's draws. You can watch any single one of those games. You can also watch Kaitlyn flash a hit for 2. They might take a look at these outside biters to see just who's counting, but what a wild end. They tap 1 rock for Team Skrlik. If you would have told me Skrlik was going to steal, that was even less likely. Wow, wow, wow. Super wild. 3-0 lead for Team Skrlik after 3 ends.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Welcome back to Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Team Laws, Team Skrlik. It was a nice end for Team Skrlik. They got their deuce in the second after blanking the first. In the third, we were treated to a wild ride. Team Skrlik had the middle of the ice completely locked off. A big run back by Selena Negevin clears things out. And after a couple well-made hit and rolls, it was a open hit for two for Kaitlyn Laws, but she underthrows it. It over curls. She gives up a steal of one. Pretty wild. That takes us to the fourth end. Strong game from Skrlik's lead. She's been putting her stones in really good positions. Here's a nice halfway center guard and something on the top of the button. Kristen Gordon with her second. Have a chance to respond. So even though they have a corner guard up, down three, they will play to the middle. Team Laws. I've noticed this tactic a little more lately. For a long time, teams would just completely ignore the middle, play to their corner guard. And of course, that still happens, but I think the thinking now is you don't want to give away the middle that quickly. You know you have to clean up the middle before you're going to use your corner anyways. So you may as well play to the middle, try to gain some positioning, and then later on blow it up with a run back or hope a guard or a draw is slightly missed. Ashton Skrlik on second stones. So no peel. 6th rock of the end. They're just playing 2 this rock in the forefoot. So this is kind of myself as a skip. I'm trying to wrestle with how to make this work. So when you throw a corner guard, at what point do you give up on using it? I feel like with a call like this, you're almost giving up on using your corner guard. Super well made. That's a really nice position. But yellow's still shot 2. They're going to clog up this scenario with a corner freeze or a tap of some kind. And now all of a sudden, you're 2 shots away from even thinking about using your corner guard with only 5 rocks to come in the end for your team. So I don't know. My question is, I'm just an amateur skip here, guys. Like I'm not trying to say I know what's best. That's what I've been kind of wondering lately is, at what point are you saying, okay, we're not using that corner guard? Chime in the chat. Let me know. Let me know what you think of this strategy. Down 3, in the 4th end, lots of game to go. And then where you do have to score a single point. You cannot give up a steal here. The game is effectively over if you look at the analytics on curlingzone.com. By the way, if you've ever wondered what the percentage chances of, winning or losing with this many points or this hammer with this team, you just go to curlingzone.com. At the very top of the page, there's a navigation kind of bar, all sorts of fun stuff next to like news and teams and events and all that stuff. Click the analytics button. That table is going to let you browse scenarios that have occurred over the last number of seasons, and you can see exactly what for men's and women's and mixed doubles, who's got what chance of winning with what rocks remain, or what amount of ends remaining, and hammer and such. And you'll see some pretty interesting statistics in there. One of the takeaways is that these even ends, especially as you approach the end of the game, the 4th, the 6th, the 8th ends, very important to either have hammer or make sure you score in those ends. So Team Laws needs to put a single point on the board at least. They'd love to put 2 or more, but got to put a single point on the board here in order to stay, analytically relevant. Let's call it that. So, run back attempt. Again, Jocelyn Peterman, she threw 2 of these last end. She'll throw another one in the 4th. It's around the top guard. Bangs the top one, doesn't make any noise. Gets a nice little roll behind her corner. And how's that for a little 2-for-1 shot? Ooh, my rocks are wrong here. What have I missed? 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4 reds. Okay. Again, I'll repeat. My name is Rory McCosker. I've been working with Curling Stadium from the very get-go. In fact, my very first event was this Western Showdown in the year 2021. I believe we hosted it in October that first year. It moved to this date. I could be completely wrong. But yeah, I'm an amateur curler. I work lots of curling events with Sportsnet and this Curling Stadium. Kind of a curling nerd, you could say. I am in no way an expert skip, an expert commentator. But I just really like watching curling. So hope you're having fun watching with me. And like I said, chime in on that chat. Let me know what you feel about these situations. I think we have a really interesting game so far. So it doesn't take much to either make a YouTube account, or I guess we have it on subscriber mode only. So you just got to subscribe to Curling Zone. Pretty easy. You just click the subscribe button. Don't worry, it's not going to send any crazy emails or blow your phone up with notifications or anything like that. If it does, you can just turn that off. But go ahead, make that account and participate in the chat with me. Holy cow. 3 yellow rocks leave the rings. It's a double run back, and it is a beauty. Let's take one more look at it. Top guard, lower guard, runs their red into stick. That is an end-saving and perhaps game-saving shot. Huge, huge, huge by Selena Negevin. That is the second time this game that she has made a big one. Really nice double in response. We are being treated here, folks. Just some incredible curling. Those are 2 really nice shots in a row. Speaking of using your corner guards, it's just yet another bonus of Selena's run back. Not only did she get 3 reds going, or 3 yellows going, but her shooter rolled to a pretty nice spot. Kind of like a double corner guard sort of spot where she's protecting the entire 8-foot. So a lot more room to roll to with her next one. Just really, sometimes in curling, you either make or miss a shot, but there are certain shots, often on third and skip shots, that count for double, triple, quadruple. It's like you made 4 shots in one. And that was definitely one of them from Selena there. Really turned this end on its head, and now the pressure's firmly on Team Skrlik. I'm going to get an extra bit of curl. Gets around the guard and leaves her yellow rock in the way of any potential hit and roll or draw to that side. That's going to pretty effectively neutralize the red stone that's clinging onto the edge of the 12-foot. Yeah, Kaitlyn's considering keeping that in play. I mean, the only reason you would have to hit that shot stone of Kayla's would be to, hoping that you're going to somehow count that red stone in the 12-foot. I think she might be better off just hitting and rolling underneath everything. And yeah, I think she's arrived at that conclusion as well. In-turn hit and roll. Try to bury your shot somewhere along that wing. Just going to come here and confirm with Selena exactly where they want to roll this. I guess if you roll it super far into the 8-foot, there's like a slash run back kind of thing. I can't see Kayla Skrlik playing that. Too risky. No, she has changed her mind. She wants to hit this top one. The hope would be that Kayla Skrlik rolls out on her next shot and that she'll have an open hit and stick for a deuce. The other thought would be Kayla rolls to a place where there's a double. I just think you're putting more hard work on yourself here. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I just feel like you're putting too much hard work on yourself here. So making a nice roll and, skinnying that guard, leaving shot stone along the button. Yeah, down 3. You're going to have to do some hard work eventually. Kaitlyn Laws thinks it's time right now. Nice soft weight. Looks like bumper weight. Kind of hit and roll. Might be a little down. That's really, really curling. Changing their minds here. Little sweep to stick on the nose. Okay. So lying second and third shot. Mission here for Kayla Skrlik, don't leave a double. I mean, mission number 1 is get rid of a red stone. Mission number 2, don't leave a double. Should be a pretty effective force if she can do that. Another good look of the arena here in Swift Current. 5 of 6 sheets rocking. A lot of high quality curling out there. Oh, it does look like there's no one on sheet 3. Kayla Skrlik's last stone in the 4th end. Ashton signaling that is up. Wait. Looks like goal number 1 is accomplished. Will goal number 2? There's the hit. There's the stay. There is no double. They are second shots. And that's going to be a shot for 1 point for Kaitlyn. Unless she thinks taking on a angle run back double is worth it at this point in the game, I don't think it is. One of these times I'll reset my camera before clicking that button. There we go. This is the last stone in the fourth end. Hit and stay for 1 point. She underthrew her last in-turn hit. This one's got a little more speed, a little more positive momentum. Looks like she kind of learned from her mistake in the third. Enough to plant one on the nose. It's 1 point for Team Laws. It's going to be a tough fight back, but they'll get started without Hammer in the fifth when we return.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
On the resets. Welcome back. It is the fifth end. I'll get that scoreboard updated soon here. Team Laws with a single. Really nice shot from Selena Negevin to flip the end. She made the double run back. I don't know how to describe it. Rolled her shooter for a really useful stone as well. It was phenomenal. But only a single point to show for it. Team Skrlik humming along. Two points with hammer. You hear the broadcasters all the time. Oh, it's the worst lead in hockey. Oh, this is probably the best lead in curling. 2 up with, play risk-free. Worst you're going to do is give up a steal. Best you can do is score a more open 1 or 2. So 5 rock free guard zone. They'll have to tolerate rocks in play for 1 more shot. And then it is the Ryan Express, the Boom Train, the Alberta Special, however you want to call it. Rocks are going to start moving right about now. She's tempted. She's looking at that intern tap, and then, you know, the voice of every coach she's ever had throughout her curling career screaming at her, peel, ended up winning that battle. So peel they will. Oh, sorry for that little adventure. Still kind of learning my buttons. It is only Thursday. You watch. By Saturday or Sunday, we will have this dialed in tight. Doesn't want to risk a double peel. By risk, I mean risk stuffing it or risk sending back a Laws stone into a really, really good spot. I see junior teams all the time. They want to make as much happen as soon as possible, but, you know, sometimes that'll come and bite you. Sometimes it is best just to remove 1 stone. The other thing, here, I better show you before I talk about it. Redstone's not in that amazing of a position. More than half is showing on the outside. Team Laws really isn't guarding their redstone. They're kind of guarding the guards. So that's something giving Team Skrlik some comfort is, you know, even if Team Laws keeps guarding, there will be a chance to remove that redstone at the end of the end. Or at least have their own kind of draw. Ashton Skrlik. Looks like another single peel. She can really throw it hard. Gets the 1 guard, just as was asked. Selena Negovin, she's been the hero so far for Team Laws, keeping them in this game. Now being asked to really change gears from her run back speed that she's been throwing to a high guard. This one's taken all of the sweeper's effort. Is it going to get there? Oh! So depressing when that happens. You work so hard, and you have to watch it cling on to just a few centimeters of the hog line. Very difficult, very deflating. But what can you do? Still not looking too bad for Team Laws. I mean, this double peel needs to be made. We'll get a good look from it over top. Good rotation on that throw. That should help the rocks kind of gear off each other. Bam. Gets the red as well. Removes their yellow in the back of the rings, though. So not super ideal, but Team Skrlik's going to be really happy with that. Both guards are gone. The troublesome red is out of the forefoot. And now Team Laws is 3 shots away. 3 made shots away, I should say, from successfully forcing Team Skrlik. Barring any type of unpredicted aggression from the yellow rocks. It looks like they have chosen to guard. Interested by this? Again, amateur skip talking here, but I would have thought with only 3 rocks to come, you make 3 draws on the tee line and you have successfully forced your opponent. I think that's a pretty easy thing to accomplish. Yeah. And you could see, you know what, I bet you guys can hear a little better. I'll try to stay quiet while they're making the call in case you guys can hear. I don't have ears on the game audio right now. But Kayla said down to her team, it's just so high. So they're not really afraid of that center guard. And they see more opportunity in hitting and sticking on the wing here. And I got to agree. I mean, Team Laws with that center guard call has put a lot of onus on themselves to make this 5th end go the way they want it to. If it's a force they're looking for, they had it already set up. So they must be thinking steal. Perfectly made, leaves it on the wing. That's going to be a pretty tough roll to get behind the center guard. I think Team Laws has to take it on. Even if they roll this rock kind of close-ish to the center guard, that's going to make the return hit more difficult and probably give them an easier roll on Kaitlyn's second one. That center guard, it came so late. I don't see how they're going to make use of it to the point where they're going to steal a point. But I'm always open to learning more about curling. I'm sure there is a reason they're some of the best curlers in the world. They play so often. They know their opponents so well. There's a reason for everything. Nothing happens out there by accident. In terms of strategic and tactical calls, anyway. They know what they're doing. Really want to keep this rock in the rings. Good sweep, good roll. I don't think you're ever going to roll right under center with that kind of weight. I guess they're just trying to group it over there. And I think once again, they've underestimated Kayla Skrlik's aggression. Her initial signal was to roll underneath the guard. Hey, Kayla Skrlik, perfectly happy scoring in the odd ends. If it's a deuce. Yeah, she wants to roll anywhere but underneath. But I think that red one is high enough that you still could roll underneath the center guard and be safe. The fear would be that Kaitlyn would come freeze to it, make a draw for 2 quite difficult. But this way, there's going to be a shot for 2 as long as Kaitlyn thinks that she has to draw. I think the final call, I could be mistaken, was to roll underneath. Really strong, straight delivery from Kayla we've seen over the years. Just a gentle sweep. Oh, just barely overrolls. Still really nice. Definitely is a tap opportunity. I mean, we can see from the center line camera there, it's showing over half. So that just kind of curled a lot on them at the end. Big shot here for Kaitlyn. Doesn't want to leave a blank at all. You definitely want someone to score here in the odd end. Take hammer coming home, see if you can make 2 or 3 happen there, and then you got a good shot at staying in this game. As of right now, if she leaves this open, it's going to be a blank attempt. So has to throw the right weight to get around that guard, get a little flop to the middle, and really ideally remove that yellow stone. Kaitlyn Law's last shot in the 5th end. Sweeping hard to keep this straight. Kate now switching to the carve sweep. Gets the hit. Not a lot of a roll. Does remove the yellow. I'd say that's a 4 to 5 in my books. Didn't quite get the roll they were looking for, but really a nice attempt. Had to make sure they get that yellow rock. Oh, she beat me again. You know what? That's going to be the theme of the weekend. I got to remember. When this girl's in the hack, I got to be ready. Is she taking one? She is. Not. I got tricked by the weight in the sweep. It is a blank attempt. I should have known better. Come on. Score remains 3 to 1. Best lead in curling stays with Team Skrlik. After 5 ends, the all-important 6th end awaits when we return.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Welcome back to the 6th end. We've got 2 rocks down the sheet, 3rd one to come. Gotta love a 6th end with an uneven score because you just know. Something's going to happen. Both of these teams have studied the analytics, the win percentages of who scores when. You can as well if you go to curlingzone.com and click the analytics tab at the top of the page. This works on both your phone and computer. And you can go there and see what the swing is, how important scoring in this sixth end in an 8-end game really is, and especially with a score like this. Think about it. If Skrlik scores 1, should be 3 up with 2 ends to play. If Law scores 1, it's only a 1-point game. You get your force, score a deuce or 3 and 8, bam, game is yours. So massively important for Team Skrlik to keep things open and make sure that they score 1 point here. And equally massively important for Team Laws to clog up the middle. Make sure that they, at the very least, get a force to 1, but really they will be trying to steal a point here. So 2 center guards go up. That's step 1. Now, Team Laws will have to, well, they're basically going to have to make every shot. The thing about stealing is there's much less room for forgiveness or error. If you tick a guard when you have hammer, well, it's fine. At least you took the guard out of the way. When you tick a center guard and you don't have hammer, it's like you've made a shot for the opponent. It's a huge, huge swing. So much more difficult to be in this position. Are the sweepers going to get it there? You know, just barely they do. You know, I guess not quite, I'll have to admit. Inside of that stone is open. Now, I thought Team Skrlik might peel here, but they're smelling blood in the water, and they think that there's a chance here. They think there's a chance to gain unbeatable position down the center line. You know, I probably would be peeling, but you do have to take advantage of this miss. I do understand. So wanting to tap the inside of this red, keep your shooter somewhere along the middle. Deny Team Laws that kind of entryway into the forefoot. Makes the tap, makes the roll, and I got to tell you, Team Skrlik is just on fire right now. Their misses are not by very much. Yeah, not much decision to make here. Team Laws, they just got to keep playing to the middle. There's no way about it. A little funkiness with my cameras there. Apologies. This is kind of how these curling stadium events go. On the very first day, we're just trying to make sure all the cameras are turning on. That's step number 1. Make sure the streams work. And then we slowly but surely optimize the views and all the tech, so that by the time Saturday and Sunday come around, everything is working perfectly. So, comes a little deep, but it's a useful stone back there that it's still going to be backing. It's going to shrink the scoring area, all that good stuff. But that is definitely going to give Team Skrlik a chance to start peeling, which is what they've known was going to happen all along. Unless they got unbeatable position, it's peel time. So no real way to make their positioning better. That rock in the top 12 and top button are about as good as they want that situation. So they get to peel a stone successfully. I think I got to lose a couple rocks here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. A lot of work for one guy to do here. Hope you will forgive my odd mistake. Trying the out turn this time. Very interesting. Signals appeal, and let's get down there before they take off out of the hack. Very confident team. Doesn't take much prep time in the hack. That's going to save them a lot of time when the timed events come in championship season this spring. Now, Team Skrlik's going to feel pretty comfortable just consistently peeling stones. But as we see it from the skip's perspective here, from the rear view, there is a little pocket in the button that Team Laws can draw to and attempt to steal. It's going to be really tough to chase. So that's what they'll kind of keep going for. They'll keep guarding with that in mind. Keep forcing Team Skrlik to burn a stone. Oh, bad term in curling. To waste a stone on the guard. And then eventually Team Laws will make their move into the rings. Right into the side of that button as we see it from the overhead. Try to steal their point that way. It's a pretty good setup for both teams. Kind of a stalemate right now. Both teams are quite comfortable with how this is shaping up because Kayla Skrlik knows that's a tough draw. Hey, and once again, I just love this. Once again, Skrlik kind of like beats her opponent to the punch. She's going to peel the bottom guard, recognizing that that one's actually more dangerous. Kind of lulled Team Laws into thinking it was a stalemate. Lulled me into thinking it was a stalemate. Really, Kayla was just waiting for them to slightly miss a guard. Now they're going to take the more dangerous stone. Gets one, avoids contact with her yellow in the top of the rings. That is a great trade for Team Skrlik. They traded a less effective guard for a more effective peel. Really smart. Some would say she kind of did that a shot early, but if you didn't do it then, Kaitlyn would have had the initiative to kind of make something happen. So now Kaitlyn sees, oh boy, we got to make our move right now. If it was up to Kaitlyn, I'm sure she'd be making this draw on her last stone, thus giving Team Skrlik only one chance to chase it. Now with that low peel, Kayla Skrlik has forced Kaitlyn to make this play early. Really confident. I don't want to call it just smart. You know, it's more than that. It's good foresight from Team Skrlik. Really, really big draw here. Sweepers left it for the first half. Now they're hurrying hard. Really want to get shot here. That's pretty good position, though. A little bit of an overlap on that rock in the top four. That's really nice. Really, really smart position. There's really only two places to put that stone. Right where it is right now, or tucked just around the yellow in the top of the button. So now the guard that Kayla chose to ignore ends up kind of hurting her, because the way to get out of this is to run back the yellow rock in the top 12, but now that's not available because of that guard they chose to ignore. They chose to peel the tight one, which I think was the right move. But now Team Laws has taken advantage of the guard they do have. This has been a really smart, well-skipped, Very fun tactical game to follow. Pretty big moment. Ashton Skrlik is kind of skating down to give some support. Kayla Skrlik's first stone. Understanding that this is a big moment. They don't want to tap this forward for shot, but they want to get some inside positioning so they can remove it on the next one. It's a really specific call. They're going to get... Oh, they're going to leave it a little bit light. There's nothing too wrong with that. I think they bounced off just enough. You know what? This is unorthodox, but I'm going to zoom right in. And we're going to see. Yep, there's just enough space beside that second yellow stone. She can run that back directly and remove the red. But I guess the risk there is if the red chips the yellow, the red at the back of the rings will count one. So really effective shot from Kaitlyn Laws in terms of a force. Going to be pretty tough to steal a point, which was, I'm sure, their ultimate goal here. This is just really enjoyable curling to watch. Very a good pace to the game. We kind of got through the first 5 ends at a nice clip, but like I said, this 6th end is just so important. And now teams have kind of taken a little more time with it, as they should. As they should. Just checking in on the chat. We have seen some beautiful shots. Susan, Lively Sue account, watching from PEI, cheering for Team Skrlik. You know what? I was just in PEI to watch some curling, Susan. That first Grand Slam of the year blew me away, the beauty of that province. Absolutely gorgeous place. Charlottetown, a perfect size little town or city to walk through. If you ever get a chance to visit PEI, don't go for a few days. Take a full week or more. Rent a car, drive around the island. Beautiful, beautiful part of Canada. Kind of big decision time for Team Laws. They could easily guard that intern side. Jeez, it was. I guess if you get full 4-foot, you're giving up 2. So no, a guard's not going to do the trick. Got to get another rock in the 4-foot. How and where? Is there anything on the out turn side? Could you ever try to draw the side of the button on the out turn? I don't want to be too dramatic, but if you give up 2 points here, it's so likely that you lose the game. 4 points away with only 2 ends to play. It's just, you need so many things to go right. And Team Skrlik's playing quite hot right now. They've made almost every peel or run back that they've called. So you just have this sense that now is the time. You got to make the shot right now. This looks like not a lot of ice. I'm wondering what the call here is. At first I thought they might tap. They go tap, tap on the yellows. It just seems like so little ice. She wouldn't be throwing hit weight at this, would she? Maybe trying to get on the inside of that top yellow to then kind of stuff the red on the next thing. Yeah, but then they would be wide open. Gonna have to wait and see, folks. This might be a tap with just very little ice. She might throw a lot of rotation. Kaitlyn Law's last stone in the all-important sixth end. After a lengthy discussion, you just get the feeling that the game is on the line right here. It is hit weight. It is crossing the face. Yellow, red, yellow. I don't think that's very good. I'm just wondering what the plan was. Maybe they wanted it to curl more and kind of slash the red a little more aggressively. I just don't know. I didn't see the angle there. This is going to be a pretty open tap for 2 points. She could play an out-turn draw as well. I don't think I get that one, folks. Here, chime in on the chat if you think you know exactly what they were planning there, because I'm a little lost on that one. And for the third time this game, Kayla has blasted out of the hack, beating me there. That time it was my fault. Got no one to blame but myself. Line looks really good. Sweeper's just kind of keeping this clean. Looks like they want to get the line right in case it's heavy. It is not heavy. It's a big score at 2. It's not enough to shake hands, but it is enough to go up. 5-1 after 6 ends. Team Skrlik is humming along. Team Law's playing well, but it's a tall order. They're going to need to score at least 2 in this next end to have a shot. We'll have that all when we return to Swift Current.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
You just saw an ad for the Aztec Safety Challenge. That's another tournament with really, really committed organizers, people who just love curling. The people at Aztec Safety and Lloyd Minister there. Jeff, great guy, and his daughter, Kaitlyn. I'm slightly forgetting her name, but they do such an amazing job with that event. That will be streaming on Curling Zone as well in January, I believe. So much good curling that we are able to watch. Curling superfans have never been happier. And those of us who work in curling have never been busier. It is a win-win, win-win-win. Everybody wins. Clubs win, players win, more exposure for them, more sponsorship for the clubs, more curling for everybody at home or at work. I don't judge. I'm not going to tell your boss you have your iPhone propped up at your desk watching curling. That's none of my business. So we got a situation where there will be a very aggressive Team Laws, and we would think a fairly defensive hitting Team Skrlik. However, she's been 3-up a few times in this game and has not peeled on the very first opportunity that she's gotten. I think all 3 times she didn't. You never know what Kayla Skrlik's going to do. Situation's looking pretty good right now. Not a lot of ways to make this better. You know, a lot of teams would just rip this thing right through the rings. I think I'm one of them. I think I am blasting this through the rings just because you're 2 yellow rocks. Yeah, in fact, she's changed the call here. Change the call. It's going to be an intern. I bet she'll kind of freeze tap her own on the forefoot there. Not a lot of ways to help yourself here. Ashton Skrlik's had a great game. Made a lot of shots. Maybe she felt something out of that one. She really spun that like a top. That thing's rotated 4 times already halfway down the ice. Don't want this behind the tee line, that's for sure. Also don't want to leave a pocket. Left a pocket. It's not that bad. That's yet another reason I would have chucked that right through the rings. Know that I'm going to hit everything. I'm going to give my opponent 2. Worst case, I'm giving them 3 if I miss a couple hits. But, yeah, just don't want to give them any kind of all these rocks is just one big playground for Kaitlyn Laws. She's going to try to make use of them however she can, including that one that was just thrown. So Jocelyn Peterman hasn't had a particularly bad game, but her shots have been quite challenging. That's what happens when you play a team as hot as Skrlik has been. Once you get a half shot behind, it feels like you have to work so hard just to claw your way back. And that's going to be a perfect freeze in the pocket. When I say perfect, I mean perfect. That is nearly touching both stones, unremovable rock. So Ryan Express starts its engines. Alberta's trademark style. These will be some high hard ones for, I would say, at least the next 3 rocks, maybe 4. Rolls all the way out. Successful peel. Little early to start doing anything too aggressive here. She's going to weld one right on the top. Interesting. I thought she might draw around her own corner guard, knowing that those 2 yellow rocks are dead rocks walking, dead rocks sitting. Those yellow ones will be flying out of the rings with 1 shot. So Team Laws will stack on top of that situation. The other advantage to this shot is Jocelyn just threw this, so basically repeat the throw. This one's got a little tighter line. Sweeper's working hard to hold it. 2 perfect shots from Jocelyn Peterman. I don't think either of those stones are removable. Really well thrown. Exactly what Kaitlyn asked for. So Kayla's going to blast this. It's okay if she doesn't remove both stones. She's still going to get rid of some unwanted clutter. One rock behind here. There we go. Third's first stone. Hard out of the hand. Bam. And was I ever wrong? That red rock went cascading out of the rings. Flying out of the rings with no issue whatsoever. Still, Kaitlyn's got a good little scenario here to try and make something happen. She's got a rock fairly open, but it is second shot. She's got a guard that hasn't been dealt with yet. Team Skrlik only has 3 rocks left. This is looking really good for 2. The problem is she's down 4. She needs more than 2, quite frankly. And because I forgot to switch cameras again, let's take a big wide look at the Swift Current Curling Club. Really nice facility. The upstairs, top notch. And with both the men's and women's event going on this weekend, here, I'll give you a little preview. This upstairs area is going to be rocking. Best party in Canada is going to be up here at the Swift Current Curling Club. The who's who of curling. And all the coaches, spouses, and fans as well. Well, that's the price you pay for screwing around with your Zoom. Okay, back to curling. Really important that Selena keeps her stone in the rings here. She's going to over curl. Will this hang on? Not buried by the guard, but you know what? That is just fine. 2 rocks in the rings. That's the important part. Team Skrlik will hit the more important of the 2 stones, which is this one on the center line. You know, you might be tempted to hit the open one in the 12-foot as well, but this one's shot rock, and she thinks that she'll have a better chance of rolling to be shot herself. And there's nothing wrong with playing confident. This team has played confident all game. But commentators curse here. Am I going to burn them? Yes, I am. Ticks her top one. Is she going to get lucky? No, she is not. So that is a big miss and perhaps a bit of a questionable call to go after the partially buried stone. That was always the risk, that you would wreck your own. And now, unless Kayla Skrlik herself can make a double or hit and roll to a really nice spot, Kaitlyn Lawes is going to have a shot for 3. And therefore a realistic chance of staying in this game. Realistic meaning it's extremely rare to steal 2 in the 8th end. And if she only scores 2 here, she would need to steal 2 just to force an extra where she'd steal 1 more to win. So you get what I'm saying here, folks. 3 is big. Massive, massive difference between 2 and 3 here. Selena Negevin had 2 incredible run backs in the first half of this game. I think one was in the 3rd end and one was in the 4th. Really stepped up when her team needed her. Now she's got a bit of an easier task, but nonetheless very important. The ask is to be dead even and not leave a double. I think she's accomplished that. Not dead even, but a really tough double. It'd be a very thick double. Not a great looking scenario for Kayla Skrlik. That's a thin double, thin and long, that she's looking at over there. And if she misses, Kaitlyn's going to be able to bury one behind the corner guard and leave no double. No double, besides a massive crosshouse double. So things have really turned here. That decision to hit the shot rock down the center line. Now let's learn our lesson here. Let's get down there before Kayla throws. It is very quick, as previously discussed. Looks like she is taking on the double, or this might be a hit and roll. They're sweeping for double. Gets it thick. Will roll. That makes Kaitlyn's shot a little harder, but really, if she hits and sticks here, outside of a long slash double, there's not really going to be much. She does have to hit this, has to keep her two kind of orbiters in play. Can't draw around, or else that's might risk not counting those two reds in the 12-foot. Really nice shots this end from Team Laws. Knew what they had to do and went ahead and did it. Put the rocks in good spots, made the hit and rolls when they needed to, and now a great chance to leave Kayla Skrlik a very difficult double, if anything at all. That's going to score a 3, puts them right back in this thing. Definitely don't want to roll center line side. Got to hold this thing. Really want to hold this. They're going to roll the wrong way. It's not a super easy double, but that is one more double than Kayla had before. Interesting. They're not even looking at the two that are close to each other. They must think that it's too thin. Obviously, the thing you could never do here is flash. You cannot. You have to get rid of one red. Even if you get rid of one red, you're still in a very good chance of winning the game. I'm pretty surprised though. I thought they'd take on that kind of 3-foot double along the edge there, but they must know something I don't. It's going to be a big crosshouse roll. Try to get under that corner guard. I'd show you for longer, but Kayla has already sprinted to the hack to throw her stone. With the intern, too. Gets one. Rolls thin. It's going to be an open draw to the paint for 3. I really am surprised that she didn't take on either one of those doubles. Maybe they were taking on the long one and thinking, okay, if we get this thick, we'll roll to a good spot. But I don't know. I thought that 3-footer was worth a crack. What do you think, chat? Should she have tried the shorter double on the wing? Or is there a good reason she went for the open one? Just seeing some people chime in on the chat. Kevin Meldrum, very happy with all the streaming. Thank you very much for saying so, Kevin. We are not a media company. We're not a profitable like we don't just go around the country and the continent just trying to make a buck. We are really in this for the curling. We're all curlers ourselves. We do this for the love of the game, and we do it to provide it for free online, and it's always going to be that way. So thank you so much for tuning in and supporting Curling Zone and Curling Stadium. This draw is a little light, but the sweepers are going to find a way. It's a huge 3 points for Team Laws. That's going to bring them within 1. It's going to be 5-4. Team Skrlik with the hammer in the 8th end when we return.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Sasktel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? Sasktel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
And there it is. 4/5, yellow with hammer in the 8th end. Team Laws got a huge boost there. Really buckled down as a team. Made every shot, got their 3 points after the big disappointment in the 6th end when they gave up 2. I wouldn't even really fault Team Laws with a bad game or anything like that. I mean, the standout miss is Kaitlyn's flashed hit for 2 in the 3rd end, where she ended up giving up a steal. I think that's the biggest swing so far. But, other than that, I don't really think Team Laws or Kaitlyn herself had any significant misses. They're just running into a buzzsaw right now. Team Skrlik making everything. Significant miss in the 7th end, going for that partially covered hit. End up wrecking the top yellow guard. That opens the door for 3 points, which Team Laws successfully scored. It's been a very well-played game, a tactically interesting game. And you know what, guys? I would not be surprised in the slightest if you saw these two teams. Well, I think they're both going to make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw either of these teams go far in the playoffs as well. They are humming right now, playing really, really good. Their season has been going on. This will be month number 4 at least. And we're just seeing some really high-quality curling. And it's only Thursday. It's only Thursday. We still got all weekend to go to learn the ice, learn the rocks, sharpen the skills, and yeah, it only gets better from here. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I'm reading some chats. People are really appreciative of the streams, and we're appreciative of you for tuning in. The more views we get, the more sponsors are interested in the product. The more money comes in, the more operators we can afford to hire to bring you these streams. It's just a big cycle, and you are all contributing to it by tuning in, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing to Curling Zone, telling all your friends that you're watching free curling on YouTube. We thank you very much. Okay, 5th rock is down the ice. That means it's peeling time. Team Skrlik. Ashton can really whip it. Just making one rock go away at a time. 2 center guards for Team Laws. Ooh, a bit of a pile of yellows back there. Not ideal for Team Skrlik. Just want to shout out some people in the chat. Diane Wilson cheering for Team Laws. Yeah, Carol Petro. Thanks for commenting on the strategy. Yeah, I thought they should have went for that short double in the 7th end. I guess the risk was that they blow by the whole thing. When it's a thin double like that, all you need to do is miss by half a rock, and you blow your shooter right by. So you definitely can't give up 4. So I think that's why they didn't do it. But yeah, 88 Murphy. Coverage and commentary is so much very appreciated. Thank you, Murphy, for tuning in. Loretta is watching from Nova Scotia as well. Great curling fans in Nova Scotia, and we're going to see much more of that this coming year with, I believe it's the juniors and seniors or mixed doubles. What 2 tournaments are both in Nova Scotia? What nationals are both in Nova Scotia this year? I'm forgetting. Someone remind me. But best curlers in the world will be in Nova Scotia this spring. In the Halifax area, I believe. All right, 4 rocks per team down the sheet. We've got a center guard, a good controlling stone on the top of the 8, and a bit of a troublesome pile in the back of the 4-foot. So I would say advantage Team Laws right now to tie this thing up. Maybe even get 2 rocks in there. Try to steal the win with 2 points, which, of course, I just said in the previous end is exceedingly rare, but that's the commentator's curse. They can, if I say it's not possible, they'll do it. Little confusing cameras there. Sorry, folks. Just had to get my stuff all flipped around. We'll get it from both sides here. This is going to get close to nose. Gets 1, gets 2. Oh, thank goodness. Those ones are really tough because if you blow by the second one and leave your shooter as an extra guard, it is a double whammy. Really, really bad result if that happens. But gets 2 guards out of the way. Does leave the yellow one up there. So not ideal. Looks like another guard, or is this a tap? I didn't quite get the broom tap there. Looking like guard weight. It is a bit of a decision, though, for Team Laws because they already have some junk up the middle. Is now the time to make their good one? And by that, I mean they're rocking the top of the button that they intend to steal with. It is. They are coming right in. I wonder if they're trying to tap. And this just over curled. You know, that is temporarily shot rock. It's not a good position, though. Not a good position. They chose to make their move. That's always a tense moment because when you choose to make your move into the rings, that has to be your good one. That has to be your stone that you intend on guarding for the rest of the end. Or at least putting in a position that's going to be really tough to remove. That is neither. It's nowhere close to the center line. It's not buried by the guard. It's going to be quite easily removable by Team Skrlik. And so that has put Team Laws behind the 8 ball here. This one had a bit of trouble curling. Not so sure what to make of that. I don't think that's very useful either. I think that just bailed out Team Laws. They're going to have a chance to make this tap. Okay, so with more ice, yeah. So you can see Kaitlyn kind of tap her broom and say, here's where I gave you, Selena, and you over-curled, so we need more ice. And I wonder if that's just Kaitlyn admitting that the broom was wrong or whether they're changing the call to a tap now. It would be so lovely if we had mics on all the skips, but I can tell you from experience, people, they do not want to wear them. They do not want to wear them. You have to force those things on the skips. It takes an entire crew of human beings at the rink stopping them from going on the ice before they put their mic on, and they still sometimes don't wear. So admittedly, we're a ways away from that reality. Just going to have to guess for now. One of two really big shots from Kaitlyn. We've seen some really good shot making this game. Will we see another? They're sweeping to have a curl. She will tap it to the button. It is, for now, pretty good. With those catchers in the back of the forefoot, even if Kayla makes this double, there still is going to be either a hit and roll or a draw to sit in a pretty good spot. Looks pretty good. Leaning hard on that sweep. Jeez. Overcurled by quite a bit. Upsets the backing, which is probably pretty good. Less of a pocket to catch that red or for Kaitlyn to draw to. And now we've got a really interesting situation. I'd be guarding all day, but they're respecting Kayla's hitting ability here, I think, and looking at a way to make sure that they'll have a rock in the forefoot no matter what. They're going to make Kayla stick her shooter or draw there herself with this call. The other good thing about this shot, it doesn't need to be extremely specific. As long as you keep it sort of in the forefoot with that, using that yellow one as backing, it's going to do the trick. What you don't want to do is leave a really easy kind of tap and sit for one. So going quite a bit wider than they've gone on a few ends. The sweepers are going to have to really do a good job at judging this. Kaitlyn Law's last stone in the 8th end. Stealing 1 for the tie or 2 for the win. Sweepers lock it on the back one. I think that's more or less what they were going for. All right. And all of a sudden, she was up 3. She was up 4. Now she's only up 1 point with hammer. And needing to make a really specific hit and roll for the win. She's got to at least get on the low side of this red rock, or she'll stuff it and give up 2. Really appropriate ending for such a well-played game. Team Skrlik has made some cool, confident shots so far, and in her style, not a second of extra thought, just blasts off and throws this rock. Last rock in the 8th end. They've been hard on this from the very beginning. Got to hold it for 1 point. Oh, now going for the curl. Hit and roll, no doubt about it. Kayla Skrlik, pressure, hit and roll for the win. She takes it. 6-4 is the final score. And wow, what a treat of a game. Really interesting tactical decisions. Amazing 7th end by Kaitlyn Laws to score 3 and get back in this one. Folks, I would not be surprised in the slightest if you saw these two teams going deep into the playoffs Sunday and Monday. We'll have the whole thing for you. The RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown out of Swift Current, Saskatchewan. My name's Rory McCusker. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.